Chile Relleno cheese stuffed pepper. We're gonna start with the sauce. All I did was take some pound and a half, 2 pounds of plum tomatoes, cut them in half. Put them on a sheet tray, little baking sheet, and I line it with parchment for easier cleanup. Then in the middle, so they get the moisture, I put a few cloves of crushed garlic. And then I tucked in 2 bay leaves. And I put the oven on 500 degrees. I added a large jalapeno pepper. I just removed the stem and the guts, right? And 1 small onion quartered. Then I seasoned it with about a teaspoon of cumin, about a teaspoon of oregano, a pinch of cinnamon, or I used smoked cinnamon, and I just added a little salt and pepper and let that cook till it looked just like this, slumps, and just charred at the edges to develop some of the natural sugars. And then we're gonna put all of this into the food processor. I add just a touch, a drop, a tiny little squirt of light agave or honey, or a tiny little sprinkle of sugar. Puree it. Then you just pour it into a small pot and put it over the lowest heat just to heat it through. The batter for the peppers is really, really silly easy. For every 6 to 8 large poblanos, you need 1 cup of AP flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 teaspoons of salt. That's it. Put that in a little bowl. Take 6 eggs, separate them. Over here, I have 6 yolks. A couple broke when I threw them into the bowl. Over here, I started beating up 2 kind of medium peaks, the whites. After the whites are aerated, you want to lower the speed a little and start dropping the yolks in one at a time. Turn it down even more, really low, or you can fold it in by hand, and you start adding that flour mixture. And then when it's just combined, turn her off. These are the poblanos. All you do is broil them or put them over an open flame until they char all over, and then you cool them to handle them, and you pull out as much of the seed as you can. You just want to be delicate with them because you're trying to keep them to stay together. The stuffing is cheese. I'm using the Oaxacan or easy melting cheese, which can also be Monterey Jack or even mozzarella or Chihuahua cheese. And then how do we seal that up to try and make sure that not too much of this bursts or leaks out or sputters on us? Well, I just use toothpicks. Okay, so then we take our peppers, 6 to 8 this batter should coat, and then you drop it into oil that's over medium heat. It's not too high. You want the cheese to have time to melt. And I'm gonna do them in a couple of batches. Okay guys, I'm taking out the second batch of our Chile Relleno. I started to take all the toothpicks out of the first batch. Once they got cool enough to handle, you just give a little tug. So we take our warm roasted salsa, make a puddle of sauce, 2 of our peppers, and set them into the sauce. And then I made a little pickled onion. It's nothing, just a few tablespoons of vinegar with a little sugar and salt. And I'm gonna top them with a little pickled onion. Some pepitas for texture. A little green onion. A little scallion on those guys. A couple little leaves of cilantro. Okay, there's that.